Hello everyone, this is Neon. Welcome to Impromptu English with Neon. And today I'm going to talk about how I scored an overall band score of 8.5 on my IELTS test. So I sat for my IELTS test exactly 2 months ago. I sat for it on the 1st of December 2023 and I scored an overall band score of 8.5 as I said, and my individual scores are 9, 9, 8, and 7.5. So in the reading and listening modules, I got a perfect band score of 9. And in the writing band score, it was 8, and my speaking band score was 7.5. I personally was not even a little bit, but I was actually disappointed with my speaking score. I wanted to at least have gotten an 8, but it's all right. Even if I had got an 8, still my overall band score would remain 8.5. So, anyway, I'm very happy. I'm very satisfied, alhamdulillah, with my score. And today I'm going to share about my journey, some tips and tricks, all about my IELTS journey here in this video. So, some of the most common questions people have been asking me are, for example, Bhai, how did you prepare for the test? How long did you prepare for? Did you study alone? Did you enroll at a coaching center? And what were the sources that you used? And also, of course, some tips and tricks. So, how did you get this score, get 9 in reading and listening? And also, how did you get an 8 in writing? Because from my research, nobody, even those people from Bangladesh who have got an overall band score of 9, so from my research I think only 3 people from Bangladesh have got 9 out of 9. So even they did not get a higher band score than 8 in the written section, in the written module, the writing module. How many months did I prepare for it? It's basically, the shorter answer is 25 days, or you can say 1 month. But the long answer is that I have been dealing with English throughout my whole life, from when I was 4 years old, you can say. And so it was not very particularly challenging for me. However, to get an 8.5, of course, I had to practice a lot. I practiced like maybe 2 to 3 hours every day for the last 3 weeks at least. For 21 days, I practiced 2 to 3 hours. There might have been 1 or 2 days where I did not, but that was the average time that I studied. But I have to say that no matter how much research you do, no matter how much involved you are in English overall, like no matter how confident you are in your English skills, I must say that even I, in that last 1 month, I learned a lot of things. So I suggest everyone, even from those who think that no, they do not need any preparation whatsoever because they're very good in English. Still, I would say that if you want a high score, at least above 7, take 1 month. Just take 1 month, prepare for it, maybe study for 2 hours at least for 1 month. Then I think it will be fine. So now let's talk about from where I studied for the IELTS. So primarily I used the Cambridge IELTS books. So I think that if you just prepare from the previous sample tests, then I think this is the best preparation. However, since I was already like alhamdulillah satisfied with my English level, so that's why I did not need to learn any particular grammar skills, any particular grammar rules, writing structure, writing style. I did not need to learn about them. I only needed practice. So for practice, the Cambridge books are the best. However, what if you are not confident in your English? What can you do in that scenario? Yes, overall, your English proficiency may not develop very significantly. However, there are many tips and tricks to the IELTS test that will actually boost your scores by more than even one band. For example, if you just take a test now, understand the pattern, know how the questions are like, and then maybe like after 7 days of studying, or at least 2 to 3 days of studying, sit for an IELTS mock test and then see. In the Cambridge books, the answers are given at the end of the book. So you can check if you like the what marks you are getting. And after going through the tips and strategies that I will give you, and after practicing for about maybe 1 month or 2 3 weeks, then sit for the same test again. So if you get 6.5, on your first sitting without any strategies, then with my strategies, inshallah, I think you will be able to get 7.5 or even 8. So I'm confident because I am teaching some students. I am currently teaching like about 10 students, and they are improving in listening and reading, particularly by following my strategies, and also in writing. In my master's in English thesis, the topic that I conducted my dissertation on, that I wrote my thesis on, was actually IELTS. It was IELTS writing test 2. So I conducted research on how feedback, on how the teachers grade your scripts, on how feedback can improve your IELTS score. Now let me go into the particular strategies for the 4 individual modules of the IELTS. First of all, listening. So my number one strategy is to write in all capital letters. What do I mean by all capital letters? I mean, for example, if the word is hospital, then do not just write H capital and OSPITAL, small letters. Do not write like this. And do not write HOSPITAL. The whole thing do not write in small letters. Write everything in capital letters. Why is that? So we all know that if someone's name is there, we should give a capital. For example, my name is Neon. The N in Neon, Neon, the first N is capital and EON are small letters. However, some people may not think about all of that while giving their IELTS test. And also, like listening needs for you to concentrate a lot, and sometimes it is very difficult to understand whether a capital letter or a small letter should be used. Let me give you another example. When we write a full sentence, then we should start the first letter of that sentence with a capital letter. We all know this. However, do you know that when we write in bullet points, then the capital letter in the first word of the sentence, it's not required. Some people give, some people do not, even if it's a full sentence. And on the IELTS listening test, sometimes you can see, as I am showing it on the screen, that here the capital letter is not required. However, if you give the capital letter only in the first letter, then it will be considered wrong. So do not make any mistake like that. It's very heartbreaking. Like only for the capital letters, you might lose 1 or 2 marks or more. So just stick to writing everything in capital letters. Then there is no risk. I have got a 9 in reading and listening, and I used every single answer. In the reading and listening module, I wrote everything in capital letters. I was not penalized. And I also took the computer-based IELTS test. Some more strategies I'd like to talk about are trying to predict answers on the listening test. So many times you can predict actually what will come in this answer without having to read, actually listen, since it's the listening test, without having to listen. Like even before the audio clip goes to that part, you can understand that, okay, there will be a noun here, there will be an adjective here, there will be a verb here. And whenever you get any pauses, you must read the next questions. Particularly if you get any map questions, so many people are afraid of map questions. If you're taking the computer-based test, then you should use your mouse pointer and hover, trace the map on the screen to whatever the directions are there. So sometimes the directions will be like go east, go west, and from west goes to the south. So it is not always south of you, it will be the south of the west or south of the east. So you have to look in that direction of where the speaker is in that time. So sometimes it is confusing if you are not tracing, if you are not hovering your mouse or your pencil over the screen or over the question, over the map. So make sure to do that. So now let's go to reading. So again, you should write in all capital letters. As I said, in reading and listening, write every single thing in capital letters, in block letters, right? There is no danger to it whatsoever. Whether it's a paper-based test or a computer-based test, it doesn't matter, write everything in capital letters. And also, did you know that in the reading section, in the reading module, all the questions except for the heading match questions and the information match questions, except for those, all other questions will come in order. For example, the previous question's answer, if it was in the second paragraph, then start from there or from the third paragraph. Do not read the first paragraph. So it's a very commonsensical strategy, but actually many people do not know of this. And also, I have a sequence of strategies to use when you encounter a reading passage. Whenever you encounter the reading test, use this strategy. Number one, skim the whole passage first. What is skimming? Skimming means to gloss over the whole passage very, very quickly. It is quick reading. If you try to read it completely, it will take you maybe 6, 7, 8 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes. Do not do that. Do not read the whole passage first. First, skim the whole passage, maybe take 2 minutes, and then go to the questions, read the questions very, very carefully, and then highlight the questions keywords. For example, the questions keywords may be something like where. So underline where. So if the question is asking for where, then of course it will be a place. Maybe it's a town, it's a city, it's a country, right? It's a neighborhood. So think that, put it in your mind and go to that passage again and search for any place, any location. So this is called scanning. Scanning also means search reading. Reading to search, to locate information. And you will use this strategy always unless there is an information gap or a heading match question. So for normal questions, for MCQs, for fill in the gaps, for true false not given, first of all use the skimming strategy, then go to the questions and then scan. However, if you get a set of heading match questions or a set of information match questions, then first of all read the first paragraph and then try to match that first paragraph with the information given, with the options given. Then go to the second paragraph and read all the options. Then go to the third paragraph, go to all the options. So go paragraph by paragraph. Do not read the whole passage, or do not skim the whole passage and then go to the questions. And also, if there are any heading match questions or information match questions, answer those questions first. For example, in reading passage 2, there are information match questions. Then read reading passage 2 first while doing reading passage 2, and do not do the MCQs or do not do the fill in the blanks first. First do the heading match or the information match questions. Why? Because when you have already read every single paragraph line by line, then you will of course remember a lot of it. If you just skim, you will not remember most of the information. However, for heading match and information match questions, you have to read every single word, every single line, or almost every single line. So if there are any heading match or information match questions, please read every single line, but paragraph by paragraph. First paragraph, and then go to the questions. Second paragraph, go to the questions. Third, and so on and so on. However, if there are no heading match or information match questions, then just first skim the whole passage, then read the questions carefully, and then scan. You do not have to read the entire passage. So I think that this strategy particularly will help you a lot. And it has helped my students a lot, alhamdulillah. Going to writing. So writing, as I said, it was my topic. It was my thesis topic when I did my master's in English program at Bragg University. So I have to say that even very, very good students, even students from the English department, most of them do not actually know how to answer an IELTS essay question, particularly writing task 2. It is an essay question and it is very difficult for most people to answer because they do not know the format. So I will tell you that there are actually 5 essay prompts, or you can call them essay types. There are 5 essay types in the IELTS writing task 2 module, and I have formats for all of them. They are given on the screen. You can check it out. So you should know the particular format for all of them. And just one particular strategy I will go into detail now is that do not write both the advantages and the disadvantages. Do not write about both of them. If the question is asking about your opinion on whether something is a positive development or something is a negative development, of course you can talk about both of them. However, it will take more time. It will be more complex. So if you write about both the advantages and the disadvantages, then you need at least how many paragraphs? Minimum three, right? Three body paragraphs. First body paragraph maybe for the advantages, the second body paragraph for the disadvantages, and the third body paragraph for your own opinion, or maybe to synthesize them, to talk about both of them and come to a conclusion, right? Do not do that. And for that also, you need more main ideas. And if you have more main ideas, you have to develop them. So it is very difficult to develop, for example, four main ideas. For example, two advantages, two disadvantages. It will take two body paragraphs. You will need four main ideas, and you will need supporting details for the main ideas as well. So it is quite difficult to finish in time and also to finish satisfactorily, and that will lower your score in task response. So when I gave feedback on my thesis students, on my thesis participants, I saw that they mostly increased their score in task response. For example, many people were getting 5 or 6 out of 9 in task response, but after my feedback, they got 8, or even some people got 9 in task response. So this can be easily improved. Please do not complicate matters. Write about the simplest things that you can consider. Do not brainstorm a lot. Just think of 2 points. Sometimes you'll need 4, but most times you'll just need 2 points. For example, if you write about the advantages, just think of 2 advantages. If you write about the disadvantages, just think of 2 disadvantages. Keep it simple. Finally, for the speaking module, I would suggest you to just be natural. So yes, vocabulary is important. Fluency is not the only thing that matters. However, if you are fluent, if you are natural, if you can just speak naturally and try to think of it like a coffee shop or of a coffee break conversation that you are having with the examiner, then I have seen, and I have also seen other people talk about it, then it boosts your score. However, if you try to make things complicated, if you try to spin the question a lot, then what happens is that you hesitate more, you monitor yourself in your mind more, try to think of vocabulary, and that results in hesitations, in pauses. So in repairs, you have to keep repairing your sentence structure. So repairing is not bad. For example, if you start saying something and then you go back and restructure your sentences, that is not bad. But if you do it often, then that will negatively affect your fluency. So I suggest you to be natural. However, in the cue card, in the cue card question, in speaking part 2, you have to speak for about 2 minutes, for a maximum of 2 minutes, but try to speak for 2 minutes until the examiner stops you. So here you have to almost definitely have to spin your words so that you can speak for 2 minutes. Because speaking for 2 minutes at one go, it is not actually easy. And of course, I myself did not know this, but you can actually go outside of your cue card topics. In the cue card, in speaking part 2, you will get 4 directions, 4 questions that you can think about to answer, but you do not have to limit yourself to those 4 questions. So you can talk about, for example, the past, the present, the future. This is called the PPF model. Save you. It will make you go longer. It will make your speech longer and at least 15 to 20 seconds more. So that's all about my 4 individual module strategies. At the end, I would like to talk about my IELTS course, my online course. The details are given in the description, and also you can see on the screen that I am somewhat confident in your general English proficiency. You can consider talking to me, contacting me for being in the regular batch. And if you do not know anything about the IELTS, or you do not plan to sit for it now, but you want to know about it more, you want to start your preparation, then you can think about sitting for the beginner batch. You can consider enrolling in that. And then that's how I got an overall band score of 8.5 on my IELTS test. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you subscribe to my channel and be with me on my journey to become more fluent, even more fluent. That I got 7.5 in my speaking section, so even more fluent in English.